Hi guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Lynda Cramer. Okay, this is my first video using my new laptop and microphone. So if you've got any feedback today about my audio, my visual, what it looks like, please comment below or email me for a private chat. My email is below. So there you go. I love your feedback. So please let me know how these videos look because they're for you, right? I want to do the best for you. So today I'm going to do a video about ghosts. Ooh. And I'm going to be talking about institutions, mental health, and asylums. So please know, guys, that if this information today does trigger you or it upsets you in any way or form, please go and talk to someone about it. And even better, go and talk to a mental health professional about it if this does affect you today. Okay, so when we're talking about mental institutions and asylums, these days it's a lot different with how people are treated in those places. We get more respect, we get more access to other options out there like community services and things. But back in the day, 200 years ago, these were even right up until the 1950s. you know, and why were people thrown into these places originally for anyway? So if you don't know what mental institutions look like, I'm just going to share my screen here so we can have a look at what mental institutions and asylums look like. So I'm on Google here, and I've just Googled what are mental institutions. So they're vast, they're different, they can be any size or form, and most importantly, the patients in these places were so confused as to why they were there. And most importantly, the staff that operated these centres, they didn't know what they were truly dealing with as well. Because back then there was no advanced mental health sort of training, education courses that you can do. So a lot of these nurses, like this one here with the bath, these people were thrown into these institutions with their own mental health as well. So as you can see here, some of these photos are a little bit disturbing as to what used to happen. They used to cage children so they couldn't leave their bed, or they'd even chain them to poles outside like a dog does. And, look at this one here with the kids down in the shower where they're just crumbled with their own mental health. So these places attracted a lot of not only the patients, but also the staff who had a lot of unresolved issues where they were thrown into these places where they're just thrown in there with others that have got their own traumas and issues and not professionally dealt with like they are today. Okay. Also, you've got to look at the medications that these guys used to get. Like 200 years ago, they don't have the medications and like antidepressants and stuff like today. So they were all guinea pigs of different procedures. Look at the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest with Jack Nicholson. They lobotomize patients who they don't think are going to conform into society. Mental health hospitals back in like the 1940s, like these scenarios here, generally the people were never released. So once you got into these places, it was extremely hard to get out of them again. So with that in mind, why do ghosts, especially the patients' ghosts, why would they want to hang around in those places when they die? Another question is, why would the nurses and the doctors also want to hang around there when they died? Because, a lot of times, as I explained in my ghost book, Ghosts Explained, that, when we go into severe mental health, we actually are able to be controlled by others. And that's not fair, really, is it? Because a lot of these people that are in these mental health institutions, they actually feel trapped And that's the word that I really want to go to today. They feel trapped because they feel that they can't leave because of that control that others are forcing on them. So one of the reasons, there's a few reasons I want to talk about today. One of the reasons why ghosts hang around in asylums is that they feel that they can't leave. Okay? They just don't think that they can actually go somewhere else. So that's one of the reasons why ghosts actually stay there, which is very unfortunate, right? So the next reason why they stay there is because they like it. What? Who'd like living in that sort of trauma? Because some people in mental health, and it's not everyone because we're all different, right, with perspective. But when we go into that psychotic, the size, the it's not so, yeah, it is psychotic, but the psychosis of what happens when we're in mental health, people get a routine when they're getting looked after by others, even if those others are treating us bad. You know, look how many victims that are kidnapped, they fall in love with their kidnappers because they feel sorry for them and they actually get that rapport or love emotion. Now, I can't remember what that syndrome is called, but it is out there and it's proven with that girl who was kidnapped as a child and she ended up marrying her kidnapper and she had kids with him. She didn't want to leave him. Even when they said, here's your real parents, it was like, no, I'm staying with this guy. So these types of ghosts actually like it there. They are so in their routine. You know, they may have been in that institution for 50 years. So they want to stay there and feel that same emotion of being cared for, looked after, where they don't think that they can survive in the real world if they ever got released, right? So the other reason why ghosts stay in these places is because they like how others react to them. Now, in this option, when we look at jails, especially where you've got really bad offenders, okay, who have done some pretty heinous crimes, these types of ghosts actually stay there because they like the feeling that they get when others react to them. So I've been in a jail where I've had my hair pulled. They love my hair. I was at a jail one night and my hair goes up like this, you know, all the way up. And this lady's just looking at me like, oh my God, look at your hair, because they're playing with my hair. So they like my hair. I get pushed. I've been pushed downstairs before, and they like the reaction when people get, oh, they like that reactive response where they feel good about who they are. Ha ha ha, I made you laugh. So, I made you scared, so I'm going to stay here and do it again. So there's all these reasons why they stay there. Are there ones generally that are trapped there? Of course there are. These are the ones who are scared. They're so um self-worth is so deteriorated whereby they have to feel that they cannot leave, because if they did leave or go to the light, then they won't be able to survive. Now, isn't it funny I'm talking about the survival of a ghost? Because the one thing that we have to remember here is ghosts are intelligent, okay? But then we also get hauntings where it's residual energy. You know, the walking down the stairway? Yeah? Heel toe, as they're walking down. And you hear them, or you hear that distant scream. Okay? Nothing like being in a dark cemetery at night where there's no one else around. And then about 50 feet away, you hear that blood curdling and it echoes through the trees, right? I've had that a lot of times. So what's that about? Because generally that's a residual energy. It's not intelligent. It's the emotions of that um, entity, because it can be animal or human, even plants. Plants scream when they get cut down, right? So I think I may have just lost a few viewers there, but it's true. So what happens is we look back at someone like, now it wasn't Anne Boleyn, it was the other wife of Henry VIII that got her head chopped off. I think it was not Jane Seymour, because she was the one he really liked, but I can't remember her name. Catherine, okay? Catherine, I think it was. So she was running down that corridor. They told her they were going to kill her. She's running down the corridor trying to get to Henry VIII. And that's what's now there as a residual energy, because it's her heightened emotions which has caused that energy. I talk about it all the time. Emotions are energy. So when we're happy and we're, oh, look at the vibration, that frequency, which is energy. And then when we get sad or traumatized, we're emitting all that energy out there. So that is what stays as residual, unintelligent energy, okay? And that's why, and they usually occur at the same time. So you may hear it at 3 o'clock every morning, where they say, oh yeah, you go down that corridor and 3 o'clock you'll hear the footsteps. Or you might hear that scream in the distance, okay? Oh my gosh. And believe me, when it's residual, there's no need to fear it, okay? Residual energy, I always say that's the good stuff, because it's going to just repeat. It's like a record on repeat, right? The DJ, okay? So that's easy to deal with because we get used to it and we can say, okay, it's just somebody that's been traumatized in the past and they've left this imprint on our time, okay? It's the intelligent ones that we must be a little bit aware of, because we don't know what they're capable of. They could easily pick up a chair and throw it at you. They could push you downstairs. They could scream in your close proximity, okay? So there's all these things that they are capable of because they are near us, okay? Now, if you do want to know more about my ghost book, Ghosts Explained, I'm just going to share my screen again. Whoops, I've just lost myself. Okay, so when I go into here again, I've just pulled it up. Okay, yep, so here we go again. Here I am on Lulu. This is the best option when you get my books. You go over to Lulu, put my name in the top, and there's my book, Ghosts Explained. Okay, so you can buy it as an ebook. Now, this photo on the front cover, that is a real ghost. I snapped him over at Toowong Cemetery a few years ago. So he's actually on my camera roll. Okay, no one, I was on a tour and I actually got a group shot of everyone on the tour, and he was not one of the paid participants that night. So there's my book, Ghosts Explained. I've also got my 5 Years in Heaven, which you can buy as an ebook, my Spirit Guides and Life Paths Explained, and also the paperback of 5 Years in Heaven. Alternatively, if you do want to save yourself some money, come and email me. Okay, if you want a PDF that you can just open and read or put into ebooks, an e-reader like Prestigo, come across to me, email me, my email is below, and just say, hey, can I get a copy of these books? I send you over my PayPal link, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper than paying these big companies their commissions, right? So if you've liked today's video and you do wish to subscribe, the button's below. Please like and share this video if you think somebody else needs a little bit of ghost education. Why do ghosts hang around in asylums and mental institutions and also jails? Okay, but that's it for me today. If you've got any questions, please post them below. I love my feedback. Email me privately for a private chat if you wish to, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks again. Bye.